Hi, Assalamu alaikum. So the alleged killer of the United Healthcare CEO just posted his manifesto on Substack. And if you haven't read it, please do take the moment to go read it. I want to talk about one part of the manifesto, one that points to the systemic violence that Luigi, and particularly his mother, experienced at the hands of United Healthcare. Does the Quran discuss structural violence, the sort of violence that may have been the motivation for the murder of the CEO? I think it does, and let me share what I've learned. First off, what is structural violence? Structural violence is when systems, like corporations or governments, cause harm by denying people basic needs. It's not a single act of aggression, like the murder of an individual, but rather it's a built-in violence that is almost impossible for an individual living in capitalist society to avoid. These systems cause a huge amount of suffering and loss of life, but are often perfectly legal. And Luigi's mother is a perfect example. Let me read an excerpt from Luigi's Substack manifesto. The high copays made consistent treatment impossible. New treatments were denied as not medically necessary. Old treatments didn't work and still put us out for thousands of dollars. United Healthcare limited specialist consultations to twice a year. Then they refused to cover advanced imaging, which the specialists required for an appointment. Prior authorizations took weeks and then months. United Healthcare constantly changed their claim filing procedures. They said my mother's doctor needed to fax his notes. When he did, United Healthcare then said they did not save faxed patient correspondence. Rather, they required a hard copy of the doctor's typed notes to be mailed to them. Then, of course, they said that they never received the notes. They were unable to approve the claim until they had filed and received said notes. They promised coverage, and they broke their word to my mother. With every delay, my anger surged. With every denial, I wanted to throw the doctor through the glass wall of their hospital waiting room. But it wasn't them. It wasn't the doctors, the receptionists, the administrators, the pharmacists, the imaging technicians, or anyone else we ever met. It was United Healthcare. Okay. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 188 says, "And do not consume one another's wealth unjustly, or send it in bribery to the rulers, in order that they might aid you to consume a portion of the wealth of the people in sin, while you know it is unlawful." This verse directly addresses two core issues behind structural violence. One, unjustly taking wealth, using loopholes or excuses to profit at someone else's expense. You pay your monthly the health insurance costs, they're expected to provide you with health care. Two, corruption of power, manipulating systems to make exploitation seem acceptable. Health insurance companies deny rightful claims to save money. Imagine being in such a vulnerable position, sick or injured, and the system that was designed to help you decides it's cheaper to let you suffer. That is structural violence, and it is exactly what the Quran itself condemns. The second aspect of structural violence is the abuse of power. Corporate lobbying by companies using their influence to shape laws and policies that protect their profits at the expense of the people's well-being is a modern reflection of the verse's warning about using power to justify harm. Here's my takeaway. Surah 2, 188 isn't just a warning, it's a call to action. The Quran challenges us to fight injustice, whether it is blatant or hidden in the fabric of society. As Muslims, we need to challenge these harmful systems because Islam doesn't just forbid greed, it calls upon us to build a world where dignity and justice come first.